Now that you've found UBN Radio and discovered our quality talk shows, it's time to spread the word to friends, family, and the universe. 24 hours of music and talk. Radio without limits. That's why people keep coming back for more. That's ubnradio.com.
It's time for the Bonnie Sher Show, a whirlwind of wit, wisdom, celebrity, and the boomer life. With a little bit of this and a lot of that and so much more you don't want to miss, here's Bonnie.
Hello and welcome. Thank you all for tuning in and being here with us today on the Bonnie Sher Show. Right off the bat, I want to send out a special thanks to Wayne Cobham for my super duper theme song. I am Bonnie Sher. I'm your host through the world of celebrity, the great boomer life, and the type 1 diabetes community. Today's guests are Emmy Award winner, Theater World Award winner, Ovation Award winner, and 5-time Dramalog nominee, Karen Scott.
No.
No? Would you be a different Karen?
Yes. Karen Morrow.
I was only kidding.
I'm so famous. So famous, and Morrow just escaped.
I am
That's
so
all right.
glad that I started off doing that. You and Billy Stritch now are in the same company.
Oh, what did you call him?
Billy Christel.
Oh, well, that's not bad. I don't know a Karen Scott. Is she any good?
No, but
Is she pretty? Is she rich?
Gosh.
Is she famous? I'll be any of those.
I'll do anything if you'll forget I did this.
I can't.
I'll let you call
I
me a
can't.
min pin again.
After all that music and the in my ears, my head is spinning. Oh my God!
Well,
What a
that's
thing.
my excuse too.
What an opening! Yes, it must have rattled your brains.
But in the meantime, yes, of course, it's Karen Morrow with me. I feel like a total fool, but not the first time. Probably not the last. And also here with us today is one of our T1 community who has been here before with me and is one of my faves, and that's Christel Oerum, who I've probably butchered her name is, well, no, I think I got it. It's Oerum. If you have a question, if you have a comment other than what a fool I have been thus far, please call us at 323-843-2826, or you can follow the hashtag BSHER Radio on Twitter. Okay, now I'm going to settle in. You settle in, and let's say hello to the extremely talented and gracious, no, I'm telling the truth now, Miss Karen Morrow. You know, it's
Thank
a good
you.
thing I don't pay writers.
Thank you. This is hysterical. I had no idea there were going to be all these people. Thank you so much for your applause.
Well, I had
Thank
to
you for
do
coming.
something to
I know.
make up, you know, and once everybody was through on the floor of Congress, I asked them to just right here and be with us.
I know. Did they actually sleep on the floor? I think some did. Some did.
I heard there were pink pillows.
That was one thing I heard. And they had bedrolls. They had sleeping
But
bags.
there were no bagels.
Oh, there was donuts.
What did they eat?
Well,
But did you
Elizabeth
notice that
Warren
Nancy
brought in-
Pelosi changed her clothes?
She sure did.
I want to know who brought her that outfit.
Oh, it was funny, wasn't it?
I-
Like a pair of pajamas. Maybe it was. Maybe it was.
If anybody knew what I wear here, they would see more pajamas. But
No, it's
that's another
beautiful.
story.
Beautiful. I had such a stew about what to wear here because I'm going to go afterwards. I'm going to go and have a new passport picture taken.
So where you going with this?
I don't
new-
know.
But you're just one of those like be prepared kind
yeah,
of
yeah,
gals.
yeah. It expires in November, and I want to make sure that I have it. So I have extra blouses.
You
in
mean
the
like
car.
right after the election,
Yes.
you're ready for a fast takeoff?
At least, yes. Actually, you're right. You're right.
It happens.
We vote November 7th. I'm leaving on the 22nd.
Just the question
wow.
is now, where to?
Well, I'm going to Polynesia. They don't do that out in Hawaii. Yeah, I'm going. I'm going
they
with,
do.
with Christel.
They do a little hooky-lao. And
you can see what she's doing now under here. Yes, she's doing the hooply-low. Yeah, it's yes.
Are you going for work or are you going because...
I'm going with Christel Cruises. It's a film and theater cruise. They've been so good to me. I lucked out. I really lucked out. And so they have people from film and theater.
Yeah.
And so, I'll just go and talk about...
My cruise, they must have known I was going to be aboard because it was all about elder statesman type military men.
Oh, is that your type?
It had to be for those 6 days. Otherwise, I would have been talking
I know
to the
there are
wind.
3 bars, there are 4 bars, and
then you go all the way up top to the
Yes.
dancing lessons.
Oh,
have
did
you
you
seen
do
that?
that?
Not really.
In the
I was
Palm
afraid.
Court.
I was afraid these guys were going to drop. I have never seen such
the
old
ambassadors.
dancers.
Yes.
God love them. So light on their feet and big in the belly.
I know.
Because why? They're cruisers. And cruisers like to fress.
Well,
there
but
was a lot
also
of
the demographic on cruises, especially those that go up into the Palm Court and learn how to dance, the demographic is usually over 60, the women over 60. It's for women traveling by themselves. That's the way it goes. Well, husbands and wives will go up there and dance, too.
Yes,
but the
I do see
ambassador
that.
hosts is what they're called, those men. And they dance with them.
I want to know how they become ambassador hosts, just in case I age out of this job.
You can't. You have to be a man.
Cut
your hair. Cut your hair.
I'm really kind of flexible. All right. You're right. I'm really not flexible at all. So, I mean, your career is and has continued to be to somebody like myself who already you have as a semi-fan because I love what you do. But it's to me and about you is the way in which you do it. There is such joy in you, and it is just palpable. Everything I even have like little goosebumps right now.
My God.
Honestly. I'm not looking to get lucky, so this is all straight from my heart.
I'll listen to anybody who says that. That's great.
You'll call me later. I'll call you. How did you land in this business?
My parents were both singers. They were opera singers. And my dad was on radio in Chicago back in the 40s, and like Jack Armstrong and shows like that came out of Chicago, the radio shows. And so I grew up with music, but mostly opera.
Did you grow up in Chicago?
I was born there, lived there for about 8 years, and then I was raised in Des Moines, Iowa.
Well, I
That's where I
have
am
the
from.
first 8 years in Chicago, too, but no, we didn't do Des Moines.
Where did you go after that?
The first time my mother moved us, we went to Scottsdale, Arizona.
Oh, nice. Away from the winters, into the dust.
You know how well I fit in, this little Jewish girl from Chicago. When they took me, they wanted to put me on a horse and put me into dungarees. Have we met?
Jews don't ride horses, no.
No.
And they don't walk in dust and things like that. Although now I'm sure some of them
excuse
have
me, but I know
homes.
some Israelis who make a life out of walking
That's
in
right.
dust. So I don't know that that's necessary.
I'm so sorry.
Definitely a different sector of people. But
Yeah.
no.
When I was Polish and Norwegian.
I don't
mean,
sweat.
Swedish.
I don't want to. That's who wants to do that.
Oh, dear, and I do. I just sweat's just so awful. Why are we talking about sweat?
I was thinking, as I'm sure many people, I'm not sure, but I would presume many people have that if a certain party gets their
What? Give me a hint.
Donald Trump in. Where would I want to move?
Oh,
and,
yeah. Well,
I dabbled with the idea of Vancouver. It's just
That's
such
nice.
but
I like Vancouver.
I think that it's very possible that the Canadians are going to be the ones to put up the wall. So I'm not sure that that's going to. The one thing I figured I could do, being Jewish, is to make an aliyah and go to Israel.
Yep.
But then I hated living in Miami. I got to tell you, this isn't going to be.
You've
good.
been to Israel?
I have.
Yeah, no, I haven't. It's got to be beautiful and wonderful, and
It's
the
a trip.
history and everything.
It's such a combination because you can't help but think of the history because you're looking
Yeah.
at it, and yet in one ear, you're thinking about all these incredible buildings and this wonderful medical research that goes on, and how this country has really grown, and then you take a look around and you still see a very old world.
Sure.
And because the country is so teeny and you can drive it in 2 hours,
Really?
you see it all. You just see it all.
But the names that have been in our history books, that's at the Sea of Galilee. And
My
the
father
whale-
actually sank in the Dead Sea. That's the
Oh,
story.
he's not
Yeah.
supposed to.
Well, he
There
didn't
wasn't
know
enough
that rule.
salt.
This little boy, 5 years old,
Oh.
dragged him out with my father like wiping his eyes. No,
Oh.
it's tell Christel that's where you want to go, and hook you up on that cruise.
I don't know. I get a little scared about going down in that direction. I mean, yet the places you have to go to first in order to get there are all having a little trouble.
Yeah, I heard about
So
that.
I know people.
All
that,
right, well, hopefully I'm
Little
a
bird.
better friend than I am travel agent. I would go back. I might just have to. So what do you want to do now? What
Well,
have
now.
you never done? Is there anything in your list professionally? A play that you'd wanted to do?
well, the one role that I've done all those leading lady roles. I mean, that just sounds, I don't know, the leading lady role. But I mean, I've done those women, those big, broad women that was Mame. I haven't done Mame. Now, I won't do that. I mean, I'm too old now to do that. And I probably
I
won't.
hate hearing you say that because I hate the whole concept.
Well, the thing is, in St. Louis, at the Muni Opera in St. Louis, that seats 14,000 people. So Paul Blake, the producer, said to me, because I used to go there every summer and do something. He just liked to have his regulars. So he asked me to do something. I don't know what, and it was the ingenue part. And I said, Paul, I'm 50. And at that point, I was 50-something. He said, darling, past the 10th row, they don't know how old you are. And it's true. It's true. Put on a little makeup, some eyelashes, a swell costume that's really bright, so they can see you on that big stage, 14,000 seats away. But theater is really tough. It is really hard. And there are people who just keep doing it no matter how old they are. And I admire them. Lordy, do I admire them. But I never could stay up at night. When I was on Broadway, I had to fool myself. I would go to the theater when it was light out. I'd go about 4 p.m. I'd bring my dinner, and I had a little cot there, and I would eat at 4 o'clock, and then I'd lie down, and then because the windows are all blacked out. They're all blacked out, and I can't hear it. I would have a little TV. And then they would say half hour, and then I would go on stage, and I'd come out when it was all over. But I mean, I did that for years, Bonnie, because I just couldn't do it. And it was okay in the summer when I did stock, especially stock outdoors or in the tent or something like that, because it was light till 9 at night. But other than that, I teach now, which is really terrific. I was at UCLA for 4 years as a professor, and now I do master classes. I mean, that sounds so, but I do master classes in vocal performance, and I just did the semifinalists for the Spotlight Awards down at the Music Center, and I'm going to Duke University to do a master class there. All these schools are. That is the joy. I get such a kick out of that. I love it. And it's a day I start at 9 or 10 in the morning, and I'm home by whatever. And so now I'm going
And it's still light out, which
That's
is a
right.
perk.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, I got that.
That's what I mean. So I really, really love that. And I will continue to do that. I also have my own, where I met David Zimmerman, our mutual friend. He was one of my students a long time ago with my grown-up. I call them my grown-up class. I have 2 classes that have been coming to class for 20 years. everybody gets better, and it's fun, it's sweet, it's a family, but it's not just about that. It's not a therapy group or anything. I mean, they sing, and they look for material, and I give them assignments, and they come in and they get better and better, and they have to really work. If somebody doesn't work, they usually leave if they just want to sing with a piano. So, no, I'm serious about that. Really serious.
What a gift you were able to give.
I didn't know that that I was going to do that. I always thought that people who couldn't do anything taught. You know that old thing.
Those that
Can't do and
right,
those that teach. But I think after so many years of doing what you do and having done everything, I never did a feature film. Too bad.
Right.
But
it's
I
not
might
over
still.
Yet. That's
I
right.
know it.
That's right.
I have a friend, Connie Sawyer. I don't know if you know Connie Sawyer, but she is an old hoofer. Hoofer. That's an F there. Hoofer.
Yeah.
And she was on the Jay Leno show. She's the oldest working actor in the union. She's 103, and she's just did a movie. Just did a movie. I have another friend, 92, who just did a movie, and it's not just little movies. I mean movies. Or the company will send a car for them, and they look their age, but they still have the
Yeah,
they can
I
still
don't think
do
that leaves.
No, the desire and the instinct takes over, and as long as the lines
the
can be
same way
remembered,
muscles have memory.
totally.
You do have memory of those
Yeah,
moments.
and your
they're-
innards. Your innards have memory.
Absolutely.
The performing muscles. I really think that's great. However, I like teaching. I don't want to work a night. Except I do teach one night a month. 2 nights a month.
Well, you
But that's
see, if
okay.
I'm going to come to your class, I'll be that night bird.
Oh,
so
come.
you can.
Are you a
can-
singer? Do you
I
sing?
am,
Yeah,
I am.
that's what I
So
thought.
here's the deal. You cover the planet during the daylight hours, and then when you need to rest, you pass the torch to me.
I
and
will
I'll
are you
cover
a
the night.
nighttime
Oh,
person?
Yes.
Oh, what time do you go to sleep? Why are
3.
you looking for help? Is there somebody in here that knows what time you go to sleep?
As a matter of fact,
Oh.
no.
Oh.
But he knows to keep me on time because he got yelled at last week.
Oh.
Usually around 3.
Oh,
I'm ready
my
to wind down.
God.
Rarely do I make it till 4. But of course, last night I stayed up.
And you watch
Oh,
those?
yeah, I did. I figured if they could be sitting on the floor in Congress,
Good for
I
you.
could at least stay awake and see what was
Do you
happening.
read? Do you watch TV? Do you watch movies? Do you write?
I watch a lot of movies, but what I do the most is listen to music.
What kind?
The American Songbook. I mean, actually, I listen to everything. I've performed as a jazz performer primarily, although I love my R&B. I love classical music. I love how I feel, and it's so personal to me
Yeah.
that the more I'm stressed, the less I want going on. I've got to shut down all kind of electronics except for the music. 'Cause
That's
the
interesting.
music just, I'll sing, and the minute I start singing, then my mind has gone to the lyric and remembering that, and I kind of start to forget how shitty I was feeling.
Oh, yeah, yeah. No, this is.
Or
I just
lonely,
discovered that.
or whatever
Yeah.
that emotion, which is not a pleasurable one.
Do you have all this music? Because there's the upper spectrum of the cable system.
You mean
that
Channel
has-
1947?
Oh, you do 47. I do 43 to sleep at night. That's soundscapes.
Yeah, but
40
you like to sleep. Me, I want to be
I know
awake.
it, I know
I
it.
have to sing every song or
Easy
say,
listening,
Wait
is
a
that-
minute. I know this is all.
jazz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm still listening for the song.
Yes.
I've been listening for the song
That you did, or the song that you want to do.
that I wanted.
Ah.
I'm still. It's like for a number of years I worked in music publishing, and when my son was very small and I wasn't performing, but I couldn't be away from the music, so I got a job at A&M Records working for Irving Elmo Publishing, and every song I heard, the first thought was, before I would cast it to anybody else, was, is this song for me? Now, a lot of songs. Disco Duck. I knew Disco Duck was not going to make me a star.
Oh, my.
But, and I, of course, passed on it. Rick Dees is probably still annoyed with me. But no, that's the gift. I mean, I've studied many things, but I don't think I carry anything with me.
Oh,
on
no,
a full-time basis.
Well, look at what you're doing now. This is a gift, what you're doing. Oh, my God, this is a hard job.
Well,
Very
it all
hard.
comes from the same place. Because I still get to choose one song every week to play, and it usually connects to me in some way.
What's it going to be this week?
I'm not telling you.
Oh, come on.
I'm a
You
pain
play
in
it
the
now?
butt, girl, but you're going to hear it
Oh, okay.
in 2 minutes because everybody's getting antsy over there that I'm going on too long. All right, so that I don't take over your entire interview here. I know it's too late for that. How can people follow you, find out what you're doing, where you're going to be, and where you were?
Go on my website, www.karenmorrow.com, and hopefully my web mistress will keep them up to date. There's pictures and albums and stuff like that, and then my class schedule. It's a good listen. I don't charge a lot of money, so if anybody's interested in singing, please just come audit it for one and see if you like it. And it's just a lovely thing to do. It's a very creative thing. That's how you find out. I don't know. Stay tuned. Go on Crystal Cruises. I'm always on Crystal Cruises.
I'll be leaving the show now. I have to go pack for a cruise.
Yes.
Seriously, though, folks, I will be posting all of the information regarding Karen and how you can reach her. I just wanted to put that out as well as information on that class schedule. And I hate to end this section of my show, but I do have to go to break now, Karen. Thank you so
I thank
very
you
much.
This was an adventure. All those people, they just keep scaring me. Oh, my God, all these people. Look at them. And they're dressed so well.
Isn't it nice to see people dress? You know, they go to the theater, they wear jeans, they wear shorts.
Opening night in shorts yet, down at the Amundsen. How dare they?
Hell mush. Okay,
Thank you, Bonnie. Thank you.
Thank you, my dears. Stay right here with us. And you are listening to the Bonnie Sher Show. Please join the conversation. Call us. Call in to 323-843-2826. Follow us at #BShareRadio on Twitter. Coming up, I will be a shout out from my soapbox, which is primarily who I think is to be applauded as well as who should be ashamed. But let's go to break with one of my very favorite Jerry Herman tunes, this sung by, speaking of women who never leave the theater, Angela Lansbury, God bless her soul. And this happens to be a great message, and it's how I'm feeling today. And it's called, I Don't Want to Know. Take it away.
If music is no longer lovely, if laughter is no longer lilting, if lovers are no longer loving, then I don't want to know. If summer is no longer carefree, if children are no longer singing, if people are no longer happy, then I don't want to know. Let me hide every truth from my eyes with the back of my hand. Let me live in a world full of lies with my head in the sand. For my memories all are exciting, my memories all are enchanted, my memories burn in my head with a steady glow. my friends, if love is dead, I don't want to know. If music is no longer lovely, if laughter is no longer lilting, if lovers are no longer loving, then I don't want to know. If summer is no longer carefree, if children are no longer singing, if people are no longer happy, then I don't want to know. Let me hide every truth from my eyes with the back of my hand. Let me live in a world full of lies with my head in the sand. All my memories, all are exciting, my memories, all are enchanted, my memories, burning my head with a steady glow. So if, my friends, if love is dead, I don't want to
Whoa. No, I didn't love that too much. Okay, welcome back to the Bonnie Sher Show, and joining me in this segment is Christel Oerum, who is a member of the T1D community from originally Denmark, but now living here in Venice, California. So, welcome back, Christel.
Thank you. Thank you, Bonnie. Thank you so much for having me.
My pleasure, always my pleasure. If any of you remember or don't remember from last time, when Christel came in to share her story, we understand that one of her saving factors, as well as a financial endeavor, is the way in which she takes care of herself and takes care of her body. I think it's called fitness. I know how to spell it. I am not the queen of fitness, and I'll be the first to admit that. As a matter of fact, when we were speaking yesterday and about what topics we might want to discuss, something that came to my mind is that not all of us are young, are at all physically toned, and yet with the information as type 1s that we receive, there is this message coming of, you know, that exercise and that motion, and that is just as important as that food that you're eating, and the amount of insulin that you're taking and how you're absorbing it. So I guess my first question to you would be, what have you worked with? Have you worked with people in boomer ages or older? And is there any reason, first of all, that we cannot partake in the type of training and work that you do? I'm not talking about, you know, being a model, because that's already, I know that's not happening. I would take it off. They would ask me to put it back on. But please tell me, what can we boomers who really want to not only look well, but feel as well as we possibly can?
Yeah.
What do you think?
Well, I think, first of all, there's several different factors to fitness. So one thing is, you know, running out, lifting weights, running a marathon, all that good stuff, which is kind of like out of...
Did I ask for this? There will be no running. There will be no... What else did you offer there? Was there jumping? I don't jump. Look, I'm sorry.
No, but my point is there's so many different facets to
Yes,
fitness and so many different levels. So I would say the first thing is to look at it from, well, there's the exercise part, which again has many different levels to it. And then there's the food part, which I think has a tremendous, it should have at least a lot of space when you talk about fitness. Because let's say we talk about weight management, which is something a lot of people struggle with. Well, proper nutrition is going to be like 80% of you getting to your goal. Fitness or exercise, that part of it, is still important, but I would claim that that's a smaller part. Not that it's not important, but, you just need to balance that out, saying you can jump as much as you want. And I understand we're not jumping, but you can jump as much as you want. But if you don't eat right, and you don't, especially for diabetics, don't watch your diabetes management, then you can jump as much as you want. You won't reach your goals. And that, to your point about, well, have I worked with boomers? So those of you who didn't tune in last time or don't really know me, I run thefitblog.com. And there I also offer online training and as well as personal training. And that's across the globe. And yes, I have had boomers there. And that's primarily been online. So basically what I focus on there is I focus on nutrition, teaching people how to feed them, how to feed the machine, so to say.
Absolutely.
Right? And also how that ties into the diabetes management. And then the last part is the exercise part. And that really depends on the individual. I would say if you've been jumping up and down, we keep going back to the jump here, but if you've been like doing jumps all your life, well, we'd probably continue down that route. Have you not been that active?
That's a good question.
Then we need to approach it a little differently. Are you overweight? All that stuff. So looking at you, Bonnie, you're not overweight. No. But you tell me that you haven't been that active. Well, then we need to start building out a plan that fits you. And that might just be walking. Most people can walk. And just if you don't move at all, or just out to your car, sit in your car, drive to your office, walk in, then maybe an hour walk a few times a week is a really good place to start.
But that's kind of my point too, that no matter where you are this moment, it doesn't really matter. You can do more.
You can always improve on your health. I can improve on my health.
That's a miracle right there and there. Yeah, it is.
Well, I think it's often it can be a little scary, because if you, for example, go on my website and you're not used to moving at all and you see me jumping around, it might be intimidating. But my whole point is my role or my job is not to make you the next fitness queen if that's not what you want to. And my job is not to try to get you to do things that you and your body is not ready to do right now. Right? So my
you
job,
have a heart.
Well, I don't want to break you either.
No,
right?
no, don't break me.
I don't want to break you. I want to make sure that this becomes a lifestyle. And that's kind of the things that I'm talking to people about. It's, okay, how can we get you started based on what you think is fun and where you're at in life, where you're at with your diabetes management, with your eating, and all those things kind of have to come together. So I have clients where as part of their workout routine is go for a hike. So that can be their cardio, And if your joints can't do that, well, maybe you can go for a swim. If you can't swim, well, you can go walk in the pool, hold on to the edge, but still just move in the pool. That will take a lot of pressure off from your joints, etc., and you'll still get exercise. It's all about moving. And as you become more confident and as your body becomes more used to moving, we'll add stuff. And let's say that can be at home exercises. That can be strengthening your core, if that's what we're working on. And I'm not talking about having you do like 100 crunches a day, because I
just 96. Because she's
102.
100, no, only on Saturdays on 100.
Exactly.
No, so what I'm hearing from you is something that gives me personally some great enthusiasm here. Is it really, if you haven't in the past, it doesn't mean you can't starting now. Yes. If whatever reason you have given yourself, found for yourself, or has been placed upon you, maybe it's a surgery that you couldn't move your arms and whatever, the answer is every day is the next chance to start again. And there is something literally for everybody. If all it is this, It's a
Jazz hands.
start.
Yeah.
It's a start. Or even maybe for those who spend a lot of time in bed, a stretch period. Hey, my dog knows to get up and stretch before he does anything. Why don't we? Why don't we open ourselves up that way?
I would say, and that's what that's how I drive my business. Before I work with anybody, I do tell them to go see their doctor and get a green light, because we do want to make sure that, that they're in a place where they can start exercising with me. So that's one of the things.
So you obviously take great thought in providing that as a way to come into your program. You're not just throwing. That's a big deal. Not only the knowledge that you have, but the way that you'll present it, and to make certain that you're on the page with their doctor. There doesn't have to be any speak about, let's see if I could do this, because you're getting it from the doctor's mouth.
Well, that's it. The other thing is, so one thing is the doctor's note, giving the green light. Before I start out anybody on any sort of program, we will go through, I personally have a series of base questions that I think any trainer should be asking the clients, which both relates to general things such as how do you eat today, allergies, stuff like that, and also what's your activity level today. And then there's the diabetes-specific questions, such as how much insulin do you take, which kind of insulin do you take, which kind of diabetic are you, all those base questions. And I always spend, even though it's online, all my online training, I still spend up to an hour, talking to any new client, either on Skype or FaceTime, just to get a feel for who are they, what can they do, because some people have limitations. If you have a frozen shoulder, well, you're going to be limited. And there are some things that we need to adjust to that person. But back to your point, it doesn't mean that they can't do anything. We just have to figure out what can they do.
That's the way to look at it. Not what you can't do, but what you can.
Yeah, and I think, I've been injured. I think most people who are very active have been injured at one point because we walk into a wall and do something stupid or fall off the box or we do our jumps or whatever, right? And that's where you have to then reassess saying, well, what can I do? I was, let's say, out for a month and a half, I think a year and a half ago, because of an injury. And all I could do was walk. I wasn't allowed to do strength changes, exercise, anything like that, but I could still walk. So I walked. And if it's raining, you can walk inside on a treadmill, right? Or you can always stand in front of the TV and do some jumping jacks if your body allows
I knew the
that,
jumping
right?
part was coming. I knew I wasn't getting away without it.
I like to jump. I'm not very good at it, but I like to jump.
I think it's just a great visual of you. I will keep that with me now.
Well, it's funny. My husband is a former baller, so he can jump. And he laughs at me whenever I try to jump because
Would you
it's
please
not
explain
pretty.
to the audience if they don't know what a baller is?
I'm sorry. He's a former basketball player. Yeah. So he can jump.
So, okay, so we have a white man who can jump.
Exactly.
I'm sorry. No, I'm really not. So tell us again in the couple of minutes we have left here how people can reach out to you. I know that you do your blogs. Let's hear it all, if you would.
Sure. The blog is called The Fit Blog. That's straight, just thefitblog.com. And there you'll find a nice picture of me up top, together with my husband, so you know you're in the right place. We are also on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram as The Real Fit Blog. So you can find us there. There's also a contact form. If you want to get directly in contact with me, just shoot us a note, and I'll get back to you. And that's pretty simple. We also, so just everybody can know that the website is free. You can go there. We post recipes and general fitness ideas, tips,
No,
tricks,
yeah,
and tricks.
I visited your site many times. It's loaded with good content, and I would,
thank you.
I would definitely suggest that you all take a look. Well, I'm afraid our time for today is coming to a close. Sweet and quick. You know, I told you this doesn't really hurt.
Until I make you jump.
Okay, we'll see. Maybe next time.
Maybe next time.
Did I tell you I'm taking vacation? I'm taking that cruise with her. It's been wonderful to have you here, and
Thank you.
I will certainly be following you. And you never know, I may just start to jump. I think we can always do more, and I know that personally I've gotten a little lax on that side. I think part of it is also that the longer I have the disease and more complications occurring, I feel it more physically. I don't remember ever having this in my earlier years, that I had any, quote, discomfort. I don't like the word pain. But so there are different parts of my body now that not only because I'm aging, but, you know, the complications have kind of gotten in there too. But I'm very excited to at least try this. And if any of you out there are anything like me, or if you need a change up, I urge you to take a look at the Fit blog and keep following along. And hopefully we'll all be a lot stronger for it. So thank you for that.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
As much as I hate to end that segment, it is time for my soapbox. This is very, very exciting for me, and I think to the great majority of type 1 diabetics around the world, which is that I'd like to report that the City of Hope, as well as their phase 2 islet cell transplant recipient, Roger Sparks, since his second introduction of the cells, which was only about a week ago, Roger no longer requires any parenteral insulin whatsoever. He was quick to explain to me, however, to explain to me that he is still a type 1. You know, this isn't a magic hair. He's still a type 1, but right now he's asymptomatic. He's symptom-free. He does not require any insulin. His numbers have been exemplary, like a normal person's, are not diabetic. I wasn't normal before I was a diabetic, so I don't want to confuse that. But I also encourage you to read his blog, and you can find that at islets at visualme.com. And so here at the Bonnie Sher Show, we're behind you, Roger. We are thrilled that the City of Hope is doing the kind of work that it is, that as time goes on, we will find, hopefully, the answers that we also desperately want for ourselves, for our children, for our parents. So I'm over the moon about that. So much for being over the moon. Now, my shout down is not going to come as any big surprise to any of you. I was just shocked last night to see how Republican House Speaker Paul Ryan misused, I believe, that precious time that could have been done and used for much better things, not the least of which being a vote on gun control. I mean, they just did their best, the Republican Party, to block any forward motion on something that, to my mind, is so crucial and so vital that I cannot even come to an idea of how they could say no, other than to be ornery. and to be arbitrary. And these are people who were voted in of the people, for the people, by the people. Well, personally, I'm a people, and I think they're doing a crappy job. On that note, I think I would like to spend a little time with John Lewis because, sir, you are my hero today. So, the most important thing, everybody, November, get out and vote. So, if you have a different feeling, a same feeling, if you'd like to shout out, please come on to my website, bonniesher.com/blog. Sound off. Tell me what you're thinking. I think that kind of wraps it up for us today. I hope you'll return next week for another 50 minutes in the life of boomers and celebrity and the type 1 diabetes experience. Until then, please visit bonniesher.com. Follow the number 1 Bonnie Sher on Twitter. They're giving me notes. Am I okay so far? Okay. And we did that. And, of course, I again want to thank today's guests, the lovely Karen Morrow. I do know her name. I was just wanting to make sure she paid attention. And, of course, the friend here at the Bonnie Sher Show, Christel Oerum. Follow her, too. A special note of thanks to Corey Bone of Crown and Anchor Jewelry for outfitting me today with this lovely freshwater pearl necklace, all hand-wrapped in 14 karat with little sapphire beads, just to make it spiffier. Get to Corey, come on my website, bottom of the site, you'll see him, click on, and you too can be a part of the Corey Bowen world. Okay, now for my friends old and new, I think most of you already know that I'm quite a fan of Sammy Davis Jr.'s. He was my friend, he was my mentor, and he's a big part of why I have the feelings that I do today. And just in case that there are speakers up in heaven, well, Sam, this one's for you. Take us out.
Whether I'm right or whether I'm wrong, whether I find a place in this world or never belong, I gotta be me, I gotta be me. What else can I be but what I am? I want to live, not merely survive. And I won't give up this dream of life that keeps me alive. I gotta be me, I gotta be me. The dream that I see makes me what I am. That faraway prize, a world of success, is waiting for me if I heed the call. Settle down, won't settle for less, as long as there's a chance that I can have it all. I'll go it alone, that's how it must be. I can't be right for somebody else if I'm not right for me. I gotta be free, I've gotta be free, daring to try to do it or die. I've gotta be me, I'll go it alone, that's how not right for me.